As was just introduced, I'm Mark Burton-Page. I'm the General Director of LUCI. It's incredible to be here in Seoul, in the DDP again, since LUCI had an AGM in 2016 here. It's incredible to see a lot of you on the screen just there. So welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. Some good friends, some people I don't know yet. Also here in the room, it's fantastic to be with you. So thank you very much. It's an honor, it's a pleasure for me to take part in this Asian Urban Planning Workshop 2022. I'll try to give some introduction to the event before we go and dig deeper into some of the great topics that we've prepared, some of the speakers. I'd like to start by simply reminding, why light is important for cities, challenges that cities have to face, but also what we can do about it together. So first thing important is that the world population is growing exponentially, as you know. In LUCI's lifetime, 20 years up to now, the number of Earth's inhabitants has grown from 6 to 8 billion people. There is today half of these people, so around 4 billion people, living in cities. And in every city of the world, there's urban lighting, in one way or another. Many forms of urban lighting. City governments have to really provide lighting as an essential public good, an infrastructure to all of these people. And we always want to improve lighting for life at night, for culture, economic reasons. We want safety, comfort, identity that the light brings. And lighting has a significant cost for the cities, the governments, but as an infrastructure. But it also has costs in terms of greenhouse emission gases, you can imagine, with all the energy that's consumed. And since the 19th century, you can see, of course, CO2 emissions have also grown exponentially. So cities and governments have to respond to the climate crisis. That's extremely important. They need to find ways to massively reduce energy consumption. And lighting is quite a good energy saving potential, of course, with LED upgrades. You all know this. We'll talk about this later. But let us wonder if we really want to aim for, let's say, carbon neutrality, for example, which is one of the main targets of a lot of cities, carbon neutrality. Are cities ready to go past the energy efficiency issue and to opt perhaps for sobriety? To put it in another way, are cities and citizens ready for different type of lighting, perhaps lower levels of lighting? That's a big question. An important factor to run this extra mile might be smart lighting, and we'll talk about this also. Indeed, the energy saving potential these past few years has been increasing thanks to the smart lighting technology developments, and we now have better, let's say, for example, dimming scenarios, increased adaptability to traffic, weather conditions, etc. So this is some smart lighting equipment, adaptive dimming we heard from in many cities like in Rome. But cities are not all on the same technological background. They don't have all the digitalization at the same level. So it's a real concern also how to develop efficient, ethical systems also in smart lighting, how to keep track of these new developments and opportunities. And LUCI's just published a book about this, so A City's Guide to Smart Lighting. I invite you to download this for free on our website. So if you want to download this, perhaps we can share a link in the chat to this. So watch the chat. On another dimension, we also see opportunities to use light in a way that is for sustainable values of the city, for attractiveness, livability, as a city not only for the tourists, but also for the residents. That's very important. Cities are not only for external people, they're for residents. We see this with COVID. It's very, very important. People are really concerned with their quality of life. But this also raises questions around how light can be an equal access for everyone. It's got to be accessible to all. Why should some places only have very good lighting and some places have very bad lighting? We see this in a number of cities. You have very good lighting in the city center, but in other places it's much harder. It's very different. So this is also a challenge for cities, you know. Last but not least, it was already evoked a little bit. Another very important challenge for cities is, of course, the light pollution issue. Many cities, many mayors, many administrations are now seeing this as a big question. They see the magnitude of all of this from private but also public sources. Light pollution is not only public, it's also the private sectors. And this adds a lot of questions to everything I've just said. You know, around this, how we can see the stars at night, but also the light trespass. How do we preserve biodiversity? How do we make sure we don't have light clutter, things like that, or that light cannot affect our health in a very negative way? You know, I think that's important. These are big questions that cities are having today, and so we need to find a better balance or a good balance for every city between the light and the darkness and the shadows, so they go together. We cannot fix all the world's problems with lighting, but for sure, light has a major impact in our lives. Once you come to think of it, safety, health, how we live in the city, the beauty, the efficiency of our built environment, but also the preservation of our natural environment. I mean, these are very, very important things for our lives. The technologies we use, how it's designed, how we experience the night, the culture. So, quite a lot of impact on our everyday life. And as cities, the choices that we make that impact the future generations, of course, we can plan them. Cities can strategically plan where they want to go. But things happen, things change at a very fast pace. Cities also need to know what the others are doing and compare each other and not reinvent the wheel all the time. Professionals need to talk to each other like we do here in this Asian Urban Lighting Workshop. Be aware of what's coming. And this is why LUCI was created. So, of course, our motto is connecting cities with light. We try to help mayors, local decision makers to work together, try to meet their peers to improve the service delivery to their citizens in the end. So LUCI is also working with experts, with researchers on this very important issue of urban lighting. And, well, it's a collective thing. We like to work together. It's a learning process, isn't it? So we have a look at things directly where it counts. We go to the cities. We experience the lighting. Today, of course, we are doing a lot of this online. And just in May, we had a wonderful online event. So it can also happen online, as it is happening now for everyone. In May, we had the Sparking the Future of Urban Lighting event. We had great fun. So that's a beautiful possibility. We have celebrations for this 20th anniversary of LUCI this year. So, a few facts about LUCI, and then I will finalize this. It's a non-for-profit association. It was founded in 2002, 20 years ago. In France, in Lyon, we are still based in Lyon. Today, LUCI is a network of 70 member cities. Worldwide, we cover around 46 countries. And if we have all the inhabitants of all these cities together, it's about 100 million inhabitants. So that's quite a lot of people once you come to think of it. So we have responsibility also for all these lighting strategies. Anyway, LUCI also is very strong with 50 associate members from all parts of the industry, of lighting design, agencies, artists, researchers, etc. LUCI is about building the future of urban lighting together. So this is where people will meet. It's an international meeting space, when possible, physically, in person, but also online. A resource center. It's a place where cities can work together, of course, act, take action, but also speak together and represent the voice of cities at the national, international level. Every year we have a program of events. Of course, here we are in Seoul in June for the Asian Urban Lighting Workshop, but in October, it's already been said, we will be in Busan and also in Lyon for the Light Festival Forum. These are moments when we really talk about the cities. We hear about the city lighting, how they are managed. We go out there when possible. We see what's happening, the good lighting, sometimes where things can be improved. But anyway, what we learn from these events, from these gatherings, is also then shared back to the community. That's very important. Our events then, we have publications, as I mentioned, that are sometimes open access for everyone to read. We have a flagship publication called Cities and Lighting, a magazine. Also, of course, a website and everything, some videos that people can enjoy. This is really to raise the awareness of the urban lighting issues worldwide. And recently, for the members, we opened this LUCI hub, which is quite impressive. It's really a digital space, a special space for people to exchange online and really to defragment all this knowledge that's been created, everything that exists for many, many years. It's a core digital sharing space. So LUCI is also the voice of cities on urban lighting. As this picture shows, we have produced some documents which are very important, that are shared worldwide. And this year, we are also working towards a new document. So in October in Busan, we will announce the new LUCI Declaration on the future of urban lighting. So all our exchanges today, tomorrow, they are also focused on that. How can we work together and make sure that we work together on the future of urban lighting? So just a few words to conclude. I've been able to give you, I hope, a glimpse about what cities can do when they work together. Together we can be much stronger, not reinvent the wheel, go faster, find solutions to problems that otherwise would have potentially cost us a lot of money, costly mistakes. In LUCI, there's a worldwide cooperation. And I'm really happy to see a lot of members here that are present in this online, but also, of course, here. We are an organization. So if some cities want to join LUCI, it's the perfect moment to start working together more and more. So later in this event, during the closing moment, we will also explain a bit more some of the activities that we can do. And once again, I would like to thank the City of Seoul for this incredible workshop. Thank you for all the speakers. And I'm just looking forward to listening to everyone. Thank you so much, and it's fantastic to see you again. Thanks. And of course, I'm here for questions if you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
we
you.
need the additional big round of applause.